everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Hi, I'm Mand, if you don't know who I am. I chat about decks here, so oracle cards and tarot decks. I also sometimes talk about crystals, anything spiritual based or paranormal. That's kind of all pretty much covered here, as you probably can tell by the title of this video what this video is about. I love chatting about decks that I'm working with and kind of getting more involved in the community here on YouTube. I watch a lot of different creators and I've gotten to know a lot of people, a lot of you people here, so it's really, apologies about that, my fire alarm, the battery's low, so I must change that. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yes, by the title you can tell that I'm actually talking about the decks that I'm working with in November. I know I haven't done an October like wrap up or chat about the decks I worked with and my thoughts and stuff like that, but I was sick the last, oh my god, this is my 5th week. I'm still having kind of a head cold, but I'm getting better, so that's great. But I've had it for about like 4 weeks, and there's just been so much going on. But you know what? We learn and we go with the flow. And excuse me, is that always so straightforward? Oh, let me adjust you. You seem very right now. We're here. So yes, I'm going to talk about the decks that I plan on working with in November. And I think a lot of us find it difficult once October or Samhain ends, that kind of season, and before Christmas. So we're kind of in that limbo area with November because we're not really sure, even though we're already 1 week in to November. So I was kind of looking through my collection and I'm already working with 2 decks here. There were ones that I kind of wanted to pair together, and I've only been working with them for about a week. So I normally just do like daily card draws, so 1 oracle, 1 tarot, and kind of journal my thoughts and things like that. So I would at some stage like to spend an entire month with a deck and really get to know it. And I think if I remember correctly, I did that actually with the Green Witch at the start of this year. I didn't change it for weeks because I loved it that much. So I always find kind of November a difficult one to, I don't want to say navigate, but to pick decks, because we're not really in autumn and we're not really in winter yet either. I feel here in Ireland anyway. It's cold and it's frosty, but I'm not feeling that winter just yet. So I'm still kind of half stuck in autumn and like half heading for winter. So it's kind of like a floaty space, you know, you're just there existing and having a great time, you know. Well, trying anyway. But so I have actually decks that I plan on working with this month, and they are decks that I have worked with. So I have like 3 tarot and 3 oracle that I plan on pairing them together. So they're kind of the pairs that I'm planning on working with. Doesn't always go that way, but that is the plan. And I have an honorable mention that I wouldn't mind kind of changing around amongst the decks, so hopefully it kind of works out that way. So all that aside, let's get into the part of, like, if you're not subscribed already, please do hit the subscribe button if you feel this channel is for you and you kind of like all this stuff. Please do join, we love to have you here. And hit the like button because that really helps my video, and comment below as well, what decks are you working with? Let me know. I love to hear other people's decks and their thoughts on maybe the decks that I'm working with, or decks that I haven't even heard of or don't have in my collection. So I would really appreciate all that. And yeah, do hit the bell because I did miss my upload last week, so you'll be notified when I upload. And I think that's it. Right, let's get into the video. So the first deck here, our first pairing that I'm working with is, and I've been working with this since last week, is The Witch's Wisdom Tarot by Phyllis Curott, and the artwork is by Danielle Barlow. So that's that. The guidebooks are like over on my coffee table, and I've paired it with the Herbal Astrology, and I've done a walkthrough on this deck by Adriana Aylas, and the artwork is by Josephine Clarks. So So that's the they're the 2 boxes. So I actually have them out because they're normally up in my altar space, and I keep the Witch's Wisdom in its own. It came with a bag, but I believe, if I'm correct, that Hay House are bringing out like a smaller box, because you know this box it's chunky, but it has the bag, and I love the book in this. So these are about the size of an oracle card, give or take, and they're the backs. And I just felt drawn to working with this deck in November because it has that real sense of artiness, and I really find this time of year, sorry, let me show you some of the cards while I'm talking, that I want to kind of slow down more, and this feels like a more slowed down kind of a deck. It doesn't feel as fast paced, if that makes sense, but it is kind of a deck that I do have to refer back to the guidebook, because there is some beautiful wisdom. See what I did there? I know, but there's beautiful wisdom and guidance in that guidebook, or things that I haven't overlooked, and it's the artwork on this that I feel really works with this artwork. And this is the herbal astrology, and I'll show you this in a minute, but I love the 2 together because they really complement each other and they expand on the information. So while, you know, the tarot might tell me, you know, one thing, or I might get an intuitive hit from that, or even from the guidebook, you know, certain key points might stand out and I'm like, oh, that resonates so deeply, then the oracle card kind of confirms it and brings it out even more. I hope that makes sense. But I love this feels I love that card. Hold on, if I put it that way you probably see the artwork better, but it's a chunky deck and it can be quite difficult to shuffle because I don't have massive hands, so these can be quite, because it's a thick, the cardstock is quite thick on it as well. But I love this because I feel it really ties in with that kind of limbo space of between autumn and between winter, you know, that kind of way. So we haven't quite finished with autumn, but we're not starting in winter yet. So this is a beautiful, and I even feel for winter or Yule, or you know, whatever you celebrate, this is a great deck to dive into because I feel it has like all the seasons. So that's the Witch's Wisdom. I don't need to do a whole walkthrough on this. I believe there's like mini walkthroughs on this deck, so that's really pretty. And the next one is the herbal astrology, and I was so back and forth between getting this deck, right? Because I was like, I like reading things on astrology, but I haven't studied it. So that's the back. Sorry, I should have said that. And I was like, I don't know if I want it, but I was like, I kept feeling drawn back to it. So I picked it up, as you can see. And I love it. I absolutely love it. You do not need to know everything about herbs and astrology. This is very intuitive, but I feel it pairs so well with the Witch's Wisdom because I love pairing my tarot and my oracle. If I can do that at all, I love doing that. And this, I feel, just complements it, and I get just that extra guidance. And this is so, again, I'm really drawn to very earthy decks for this season. Or for like this space. I love this card. But I feel these two really complement each other. And of course I love the crystals in it, and it's just, this is lovely. So I can see myself working with this into even Christmas, but it's just, there's something so beautiful about this. And I feel there's a couple of decks that I could pair this with. You know the way sometimes you're kind of automatically trying to pair your decks together and stuff like that, or is that just me? Let me know. Am I the only one that's excuse me, always trying to pair my decks together? Next deck said decks I am planning to work with in the month of November is, I don't think it's a shock to anyone because I think most of you know at this stage that this is one of my favorite tarot decks, is the Green Witch Tarot by Anne Mora, and the art is by, you know, I'm not going to garter your name, so I'm going to, show it because I absolutely butchered your name, so I'm very sorry. I love this deck. I definitely feel this is a deck you can use all seasons, so spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And of course, I was going to bring it out because I don't know who had pointed it out. It wasn't on my channel anyway. I've seen somebody else say it, but the backs of these like feel so wintry. Excuse me, so wintry. And again, I'm so drawn to. I'm sorry, you can see my phone. These are just the most beautiful artwork. I'm trying to get this to focus so that you can see it. But this is beautiful for any time of year, but for this time of year I always like to stay grounded and within them earth elements. And this is definitely a deck that does that for me, and it's just such a nurturing deck. I love it. And the artwork, and I believe I've seen this like on Dawn Michelle, and I've seen her talk about it, and I was like, I need that. I think I do that with most people I watch. I'm like, I need that deck. I've added that deck to my wish list. But yeah, I loved it, love it. So yeah, that's the Green Witch. I'm not going to spend too long because I don't want you guys to be here all day looking. Come, will you hurry up? But you get the idea. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure there's plenty of walkthroughs on this deck. My hair is just she's just not cooperating. And the next one, I always paired these two together because they complement each other, and I believe I've said it in another video, I can't remember, but this is the Celtic Spirit by Nicola McIntosh, and it's the Ancient Wisdom from the Elementals, and that's back, and it's a rock pool. I never said the Green Witch Tarot is by Llewellyn. It's funny because the artwork in these two decks are not similar at all. They're not alike. If you put them side by side, they don't really complement each other in one way, and they do then in another way, if that makes sense. So that's the back. But I paired these two on a whim, and they just worked. Clear readers, they in one way do not care. They will tell me as it is, and whether I like it or not, I will have to listen. But as you can see, the art style is like not one bit similar. I love the artwork on this though. But do you know what I mean? It complements each other. They really do. And I love the green gilding. 1 second. It's a bit battered, but I mean, that happens. That can be expected. Oh, but these are, and I'm not normally drawn to elemental decks. It's just not really where my practice tends to lean towards. But there's something about this deck that I was like, I need to get this. And I'm so glad I did, because the messages, oh my god. Now I don't always refer to the guidebook, but there are certain decks that I do feel the guidebook has just that bit more information. So obviously when I'm doing like client readings and things like that, I don't use a guidebook. Everything is solely my intuition, solely the messages I'm getting from source spirit. But when I read for myself, I do like to sometimes refer back to the guidebook, because I always feel like I'm expanding my knowledge and expanding what I know and what I need to know. I love this. So I have like a certain selection of decks that I use for clients, or if I'm doing like pick a cards on Instagram and occasionally TikTok, not always. It's hard to manage it all, but we get there, you know. But I love this, the Morgan. It's so beautiful. But you know, like when you pair them together, then I just picked a random one here. Oh, here we go. Well, power, courage, strength, and then we have the Lord of Shadows, which I believe is that. So, yep. There you go. Do you see what I mean? For me, they just work. They just work, and I have no explanation why. They just do, and I love them, and I'm looking forward to working with them more, because I did work with them at the start of the year, and I worked with them for quite a bit, and I can tell you, sometimes they really hit home, and I definitely felt it to my core. The last pairing, and then my honourable mention, is the Guardians of the Night Tarot by NJ. I don't know how you pronounce it. We say Culnan here in Ireland, but I'm pretty sure you say it differently in the States. And I've actually paired it with, I know I was leaning towards the Crow Oracle. Is that what it's called? Her Oracle deck. And then this one popped out, the Deep, Dark and Dangerous. And I have a walkthrough of this one as well. By, sorry, I thought I heard somebody here. Stacey DeMarco. And again, I haven't worked with these two together, so it should be interesting. I'm curious as to how they complement each other and they work. I really love MJ's artwork. It's stunning. I mean, the backs on these they're one of my favorite backs. I'm so, like, I know it's not the be all and end all of how the backs look, but I love them. Apologies, lads, about playing with my hair here. I'm just looking and I'm like, sit. Like, it just won't. Does anybody else have that with their hair sometimes where it won't? Anyway, we're not here about hair, we're here about the decks, meant. Focus. I love this. And I really feel for this time of year. This is a beautiful deck. And the animals are so cute in it. Hello. And it's just, I love this card. If you don't know, fun fact, I absolutely adore donkeys. I think they're just the sweetest animals. Okay, I love all animals, but there's just something about donkeys, and especially when they're in like tarot or oracle decks, I'm like living. I love it. Absolutely love them. They're just so sassy, and yeah. But this deck I plan on working with more. I really want to get to know her better. I feel like we're acquainted, but I don't know her better. I could know her more. And the guidebook on this is fab. From what I remember, because it's been a while, because I've had a few more decks come in and been working with them. I love the elephants. They always remind me of my Oma, because she adores elephants. She absolutely, I should just show them this way, shouldn't I? There's some that make me uncomfortable, like this here, the bee or wasp, whatever you want to call it. I'm just like, I'm not here for that. But they are absolutely stunning. I do like here's another bee. Oh my god. The bees in the back then are beautiful. So I don't know why my brain can't. I really love this deck. This is can be very shadowy. It's glossy, so trying to show you this. I adore the crystals on the backs of these and the red gilding. I have no idea how these two are going to pair. I sometimes like to just pick two decks and just see how they work. I think that's how most of us figure it out, isn't it? But like the artwork is, I'm just gonna pick a random. The Journey, Nine of Swords. Okay. I'm always interested. Hold on, let me do it this way. Always interested to see how they pair. But I do love Stacey DeMarco's decks. They're always really clear readers for me. This deck, I should say, makes me work for it a little bit more. Definitely makes me work for it. But again, I love this. Part of me doesn't want to let go of that Halloween vibe. You know, that Halloween energy, Samhain energy, autumn. But I wouldn't say this was a very wintry deck. I definitely have to go through my collection and see like what's going to work for winter. Like December especially. I feel like December, January is kind of those cozy decks really, isn't it? So I must go through and see. But I love, did you see? I love these. So I don't know how the two are going to pair. It should be interesting. But I kind of wanted to hold on a little bit to the Halloween decks. I wouldn't say this is predominantly Halloween or spooky. You know, it's really delving into that shadow aspect of ourselves, and I really feel like this time of year is a great time to delve deeper into it, and it's definitely something I must get back into. I'm a bit out of sorts with having been sick, and then there's just a lot going on in my own personal life, so spending time with my decks in October just didn't really happen as much as I had liked. And that's kind of sad because I love October, but it was the first time in a very long time I didn't really do Hotel for Halloween. I really didn't. I didn't put up many decorations, and normally I'm like here for it and I do loads, but it just didn't work out this year, and I'm learning to just be okay with that it's okay. It's totally fine. And my honourable mention that I may or may not work with, I have no idea, is Denise Lynn's The Sacred Forest. This is by Hay House, and when I'm not a big fan of the backs, I'm not, because one of the cards is actually this a little confusing. I rather when the backs are just that bit different, that it's not one of the cards, if that makes sense. But aside from that, and aside from cardstock, it's okay. 1 second, let me now. There's something about this deck that I feel ties beautifully in. Again, I haven't worked with this in a while. Okay, why do I keep insisting on doing it? See, this is the card I'm on about. So it's Pegasus Transcending, and then that's the back. So while no, there's no real difference. It's just I would prefer it to be different. I really feel this ties in lovely with like autumn and with, well, I suppose all seasons really, but it has that real earthy feel. It's the Sacred Forest. Not too sure about the artwork because it does change. So here we kind of have like a little character, like a cartoon character, but then here this feels more like a photo. So I'm not really sure about the artwork. I don't hate it, but I'm not overly in love with it either. But it is definitely a deck that has depth to it. I love this. Of course I do. Crystal Cave, I love that. So yeah, it's definitely a deck that I might actually pair with the Guardians of the Night. So we'll see how that works. But it definitely has that like autumn winter, because I'm pretty sure did I show the winter card? Has that even come? There is a winter card, isn't there? Maybe I've showed that already, or maybe there isn't and I've just made it up. Probably. I thought there was a winter, or maybe I just showed it. Oh no, that's the wolf spirit. That's the one I'm thinking of. Anyway, you get the idea. That is my honourable mention. It's one that I may or may not work with. I haven't quite decided. I might actually use it for pick-a cards because it is a really beautiful one. So we might do that. Anyway, guys, I think this video is like long enough. I shall see when I start editing. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Let me know in the comments below what decks are you working with this month, or is there any of these decks that I've shown that you're working with as well? I'd love to hear your comments, your thoughts. And yes, I will see you all in the next video, and have an amazing day wherever you are, and I'll chat to you all real soon. And thank you if you've reached the end of this video and you've watched the whole thing through. I really appreciate it. And yeah,